What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Clean Eating Made Easy. I'm Mark, Lastnamelyon, and today we're going to go over one of the 100% most messaged about, asked about meals that I make, and it might just be the easiest one I ever make, and that is protein oats, aka Proats. Okay, so protein oats. When I say this might be the simplest and easiest meal to make, I really do mean it. Besides something like toast, I really can't think of something that is just as quick and easy to make. So, with that being said, base ingredients, oats, of course. I personally just use the Quaker 1 minute. Cuts down my cook time a little bit, and also I can buy it from Sam's Club in big bulk bags. So bang for your buck, all that type of thing. I'm all about it. Next ingredient, obviously, protein. Now we can get into flavors and stuff later, but for me, I prefer a chocolatey taste with the mixture and combination that I make. So I use just a chocolate whey isolate, but I try to make sure, and this is another type of item you can buy from a Costco, from a Sam's Club, something in bulk and cheap. But I try to make sure the protein's around 25, 24 grams. And most whey isolates will be that. But I mean, if you just get like a regular whey protein, that can work as well. Next up, cinnamon. I get the cinnamon for a couple different reasons, but they call it nature's GDA. It just helps with glucose disposal. It's gonna help you to try to transform some of those carbs into energy, used properly, things like that. I don't feel I need to take an excess amount of supplements because I'm able to use kind of natural ingredients to do so. So that's why I add cinnamon to a lot of my carb sources. Last but not least, and this is kind of my topping, my frosting, if you will, almond butter. I just get kind of like a natural one, but I don't stress too much about it. In the off season, I'll even get into peanut butter if I feel like it, or even just kind of mix it in. Really for me, I'm just looking at the calorie and the fat content because I'm getting my protein, I'm getting a good clean carb source. So I'm just looking for a clean, healthy fat source as well, and that's what this is. Now that we've gone over the ingredients, I guess it's time to make the food, right? So I'm gonna show you guys just how easy this is to throw together. So for me, a serving size is about a cup. You can always use the nutritional facts on the side of the box or the bag as reference, and then adjust it accordingly to how much, calories, carbs, things like that you're looking for with any type of food. So for this, I take in about a cup of oats. This is a 1/4 cup measurement right here. So I'm gonna throw in 4 scoops. But sometimes, what I like about this meal too is because of the variability and like the adjustments you can make. If I wanted a little less carbs, I could do half a cup. That could be my serving right there. But off season, so not today, we're eating. Got that? Right there. Now I add the water. I don't measure the water, and here's why. I've kind of done this so many times, I literally eat this meal every day, and I find a nice thin water layer over the top is just about right. You don't want it to be too dry. I don't like my oats watery, I'll say that, so I guess it does depend on your preference. But I like it a little more watery than I would usually because we're gonna add in the protein later, which is a powder, and it mixes better. And it'll actually take some of that watery feeling away. So as you can see, I'm just gonna add in a thin water layer there, get it just about right. And then once we have that, we're gonna stick this thing in the microwave, 2 minutes. So as you can see now, there's a little bit of a water layer still over the top. Just kind of mix it in, but that's okay. What that's gonna allow is for the protein to mix in a little bit better. So now we'll just add a scoop of that chocolate protein. And actually today, because of the protein I'm trying to get in for this meal, I'm gonna do a 1.5 scoops. There. And now for the cinnamon. So your product should end up looking about like that. I'm pretty generous with the cinnamon, to be honest. So this is how your meal should kind of look now. I know it looks a little funky, but as we start to mix in, everything will come together. Okay, so this is kind of how it should look at this point. Now it's time for the fun part. Add the topping, the almond butter. A serving size is about 2 tablespoons. I find if I scoop about 1.5 of a regular spoon, it's close enough. Like I said, I've said previously, I'm in an off season right now, so the exact measurements isn't, as long as I get close to it. And I'm sure the same thing for you. Now, if you really want to make sure, pull out that little spoon, you know, that measuring spoon, and use that and get those proper tablespoon measurements down. Alright, so there we have it. All that slaving away in the kitchen that you saw me do, and all those crazy ingredients, come out to that meal right there. Doesn't look like much, but let me tell you, it is unreal, super delicious, and one thing I love about it too, you can make it however you want to do. So whether it's adjusting to your calorie intake, you can change the measurements. Whether it's adjusting to your taste buds, if you don't like almond butter and you want to use peanut butter, that's okay. If you don't like chocolate protein and want to use vanilla, peanut butter, that's okay. Finding what works for you and what you enjoy while still making it clean and healthy is totally good. That's great that you're experimenting with your taste and clean food, because to make it sustainable where you're going to eat something like this every day, you have to enjoy it. We're not going to put you just on chicken and broccoli and expect you to enjoy eating every single day. So things like this, little tricks and things that can handle maybe a sweet tooth late at night, you want some ice cream, I'm going to make some Proats instead. Let me tell you, if you have a sweet tooth, it will take care of it. It's very rich and it tastes almost like a dessert. So it's important, like I said, to understand that this can work for you no matter what. So I hope you get that out of these videos. I hope you look at the ingredients, or you look at the meals and the ideas and go, I can make that in some way towards myself. Like I said, you don't have to make it exactly how my taste buds desire. Make it how yours do. And if you have questions about that, comment down below or send me a message on Instagram. If you're friends with me on Facebook, whatever. Find me, get in contact, and like I said, we'll make it work for you. Now, as I always do, I'll put the macros for this meal, exact measurements and everything, right here. There's no rice cooker this time, but it's actually just kind of floating, so it's a little weird. But I'm about to grub on this meal. I'm eating this as a pre-training meal, and the reason I'm doing that is because it's actually pretty well-rounded. It's got my carbs, it's got my protein, it's got a little fat as well. Now, would I eat this as a post-workout meal? Probably not. And because of that, if I was going to eat this as a post-workout meal, I would have not put in the almond butter. Now, what fats do, although they're great and your body needs them, they can slow the process of protein digestion down. And now, if you're just an average person, if you're just trying to be healthy and in shape and just go to the gym for health purposes and lifestyle, is that a huge deal, your protein absorption? No. But as some of you know, I compete and I take my nutrition very seriously, and so when I have something where it's a post-workout meal, I'd like for my protein sources to be able to be quickly absorbed and get to my body and start recovering as quickly as possible. As soon as we can start that process, the better. So that's the only reason for that. But if you feel like having some frickin' protein oats post-workout, kill it, have it, whatever, do your thing. For me, it's more of a pre-training or in a way for just an average regular meal. So, hope you enjoy. As always, please subscribe because there's more videos on the way, and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this meal. Hopefully you give it a shot, give me some feedback, and let me know what you think. See you guys next time.